To think for a second, what comes to mind when you hear the words self-care? Does it mean an entire day at the spa or doing absolutely nothing all day? I don't think so. In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 tips that you can do on a daily basis to improve your self-care and well-being, especially during these times of quarantine. And they're practical. Welcome back to Live Free TV. My name is Sarah, Live Free Warrior, your host of this channel. And we're going to dive into 10 tips that you can do to improve your personal well-being at home on a daily basis. Now, first up, I want to give a big thank you to the sponsors of this video, GRIN Natural. GRIN Natural is dedicated to the well-being of you at home, your personal oral care, and also taking care of the environment around us. More on that later. Let's kick it off with the first tip. You're going to want to clean up your living space. I've always been a big believer, a cluttered space is a cluttered mind. Maybe it's the OCD part of me, I don't know. But when I have a clean, organized space, I'm able to organize my thoughts a little bit better too. That helps for creativity and also productivity. The second tip, fill your space with inspiration. This kind of goes hand in hand with the first one. If you have a clean space, you also want it to be filled with things that are meaningful for you. So if it's having photos up on the wall of things that remind you of certain trips that you took, or even if it's photos of people that inspire you or quotes that are up around. Maybe it's just having a clean white wall space, or you have your camera gear out like I do, so I remember it's time to film. Having sources of inspiration around you is going to keep you motivated, inspired, right? And always in that state of curiosity and creativity. That's a good place to be. Tip number 3, wake up a little bit earlier. The early bird catches the worm. We've all heard that. There's truth in it. When you wake up a little bit earlier than, say, the rest of the people in your house, or even before the sun comes up, you are giving yourself that little bit of head start in the day to just be with you. And I take advantage of that time. That's usually when I'm doing my creative thinking for the day. I'll do some writing sometimes. I'll do my meditation and silence and peace. And I just give myself that time to think, what is Sarah feeling? What does Sarah want? What are we going to achieve for the day? Before adding in all of the noise around us into our day. Tip number 4, have a solid oral care routine. I'm a big fan that routine and consistency leads to long-term health and productivity. Every single morning and every single night, I am brushing and flossing with GRIN Natural. I'm using their whitening toothpaste, which has no chemicals, no toxins. It is natural ingredients. And yes, natural works for me. I found a big difference in the taste. I have to tell you, you think like natural is going to taste nasty. I love the taste of their toothpaste. And I've been using the charcoal bamboo brush every single morning and night as well, along with their bio-degradable flossers. Because if you think about it, what is in your mouth directly affects everything else within your body. I'm going to link a video up here as well that shows the impact of your oral care and health and your immune system and your immune health. There's a direct correlation. So what you're doing in your mouth to your teeth on a daily basis really makes a big difference of your overall health as well. And plus, you have to floss and brush your teeth anyway, so you might as well make it with great products like with GRIN. Tip number 5, hydrate, hydrate, and hydrate. It can be really easy to grab for a coffee or other stimulant when you're starting to feel a little sleepy, especially in the afternoon. I urge you, pause, reflect. Do you need coffee, or do you need water, or you just need a little break in your day? When you're hydrated, your energy is going to be at its absolute best. Not to mention your skin is going to be glowing, the inside, your body, your organs, everything's going to be functioning at its best. So remember to hydrate throughout the day. Link a video up here on tips to hydrate more, because I know even I need to be hydrating more. That's the honest truth I can give you. Tip number 6, mind the food you eat and eat intuitively. How many times throughout the day do you think that you are just grabbing for food because it's there? You might be bored, you might be anxious, you might be tired. I'm going to encourage you, put a pause, and when you're eating, give yourself that full attention and presence. Now, I'm guilty of this too. I eat with distractions sometimes. I eat my lunch often and I'm in front of the computer or I'm checking messages. I am guilty of this too. But I also try and cut out any distractions around me so that I am eating and feeling it's more intuitive. So you stop, you're more likely to stop before you are over consuming or just eating on autopilot, because that's the opposite of intuition, an opposite of mindful eating and eating intuitively. So you stop when you're full, you have something else if your body's craving it. And that's how you're gonna find a better balance for yourself. Tip number 7, manage your manage your stress. It can be very easy to lose our cool, especially with all that's going on, and just in everyday life. Things are gonna happen, that's life. But how you deal with it and you react to it, that you have total control over. Some of the tools that I find very useful: breathe. Nothing new. Breathe. The more you can exhale and get rid of that anger, it's gonna help. Another one, do some meditations. Again, there are videos that you can reference here on this channel, I'll link it up here, that you can do for meditations. Another idea, go for a walk outside, exercise. That can all help to burn off some of the stress you might be feeling. And I promise when you come back to whatever that original stress was, you're gonna approach it with a fresher, clearer mind to actually tackle the problem. Find a solution instead of reacting to it off of emotion. That's stress. Tip number 8, be intentional with how you are spending your time. I think we can all be guilty of this one here. How many times we just start scrolling in one social media category or channel or platform, and before we know it, 45 minutes has gone by. We've all done it before. It happens. Instead, what I like to do now is set 2 different blocks of times for social media or email. Email is another one that's a black rabbit hole. So you start to categorize what those black holes of time are for you and then put them into time blocks and time frames. So half an hour here for social media, an hour here for responding to emails. And you start to create more of a calendar of how you're spending your time. So you're more aware of it. And instead of time just getting away and then saying, I never got around to doing what I want, you are creating that time for yourself instead. Tip number 9, create journal prompts and journal. Actually do it. I am a big fan of journaling. Both I journal on my laptop and I have a running document of things that I just take down during the day, and also at nighttime I keep a journal bedside or by my desk side, and I write down things that I'm grateful for. Keeping that journal track helps me to, 1, clear my mind, and another one, I get to see and reflect back the things that have happened during the day that I'm either inspired by, that I'm learning, that I'm working on, something achieving toward my goals, or that I'm just grateful for. And then I'm going to bed with that thought and that mindset that I've achieved things, I'm learning something, and I'm so grateful for all that I have. That's a key to getting a wonderful night's sleep. And I keep saying this, I've said this many times before, but I'll keep saying it again, it really does help. The last one, tip number 10, do something for someone else. When we give, we get back so much more. So if it is sending an e-card to a friend, a nice message just saying, hey, I miss you, I can't wait to catch up. Or you can physically send something to somebody in a thoughtful way. Doing something for somebody else can be so gratifying. You can cook a meal for somebody who you know has been inside for a long time, or you enjoy doing. Give, and give, and I promise you, you're gonna get back in so many more ways than you ever set out for. So continue to give, even when you feel like you don't have much. Continue to give. It doesn't have to be monetary by any means. These are all free things that I'm also mentioning too. Just give your love, give your space, give your presence, give an ear to a friend. and it will always come back to you. I hope these tips were helpful. These are 10 practical ways to improve your self-care and well-being on a daily basis, especially during these times of quarantine. We all need it. So the more you take care of yourself, the more we're taking care of the world around us as well. I hope you like this video. If so, give it a thumbs up. Follow here on Live Free TV if you're not already. Subscribe to this for notifications, and you can follow me over on Instagram at Live Free Warrior. And while you're there, don't forget to follow GRIN Natural, who will continue to share sources of inspiration, their products there. Everything that I've shown here in this video, I'm going to link it below as well that you can reference, and use Sarah10 for 10% off of your online order. They'll ship it directly to you. And then you get to have this cheesy, smiley teeth like I do. Here's a bonus tip. A key to mindful eating for me as well. I go and I brush my teeth right after, and then I'm less prone to go and eat something that I wasn't really hungry for in the first place and was probably just tired. This happens a lot after dinner. So a tip, brush your teeth after eating, and it will help prevent mindless eating.